powder
Guns.
to luggage, from bulletproof vests
Jewelry.
to jewelry, XYZ. So for us, Grand Bazaar is this area. But for you, when you say Grand Bazaar, you're not referring to this, you're referring to the covered part of the Grand Bazaar. So Spice Bazaar is a part of the Grand Bazaar. Covered Bazaar is also a part of the Grand Bazaar. But touristically, people say Grand Bazaar, and actually they're meaning the covered bazaar. And in Turkish, we call the covered bazaar.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sounds logical.
We're very creative, you know. It has a roof, it has an indoor. Will that make sense if I call it a souk? Yes. If you go to Morocco, if you go to Israel, if you go to Egypt, if you go to Syria, wherever, you have these souks everywhere. The one in Istanbul, the Istanbul souk, has been there since 15th century. But if you trace the route, it goes back to Roman times. So that's the forum, that's the agora of the city. So they've been buying and selling for the last 2,000 years. What can you find in there? Well, depending on the decade, depending on the century, depending on, I don't know, the need, things change. But it's always been the place of jewelry in the Grand Bazaar, in the covered bazaar, and hundreds. I mean, once you walk in, the first question that will pop in your mind is, how on earth these people make money? I mean, out of 4,500 shops in the covered section of the Grand Bazaar, it seems as if 2,500 of it is jewelry. One gold shop after another. Some of them are front for money laundering, by the way. So not all of them has to make money. But there are people in Turkey. You cannot buy gold every day, but you buy gold whenever you need, such as the weddings and whatnot. So every family sort of has one jeweler. That's how it works. Your mother goes to the same place, you go to the same place, your grandmother goes to the same place. So there is a friendship between the two. And the gold price is standard. You will see that every shop has a price per gram. 1 gram is about 4,000 lira now. And then on top of it is like a bracelet. There's some workmanship on it. And you bargain on the workmanship part. Like a bracelet is, I'm making it up, $100. And then when you look at the weight of it and you calculate the gram of it, let's say it's 5 gram. Okay, I'm making up things. 5 gram bracelet. 5 grams times 4,000. It's 20,000 lira is the cost of the gold. And then there is workmanship on the bracelet. So, and the guy says it's 100,000. That means he's charging 80,000 over the workmanship, and you bargain on that part. There's no bargaining on the price of the gold. We have 22 karat, we have 18 karat, 14 karat. We have now 10, and even I heard that they have 8 karat as well, because the gold price is very high. So that's why. We know those Rock Hudsons and you know those cowboys. They all had the Levi's. And then I begged my dad for, I don't know how long, I can't remember, but I begged my dad to buy me a Levi's. So finally he took me to the bazaar, because that's where most of these things were smuggled in. So the bazaar was the place where you find smuggled items. That's like 50 years ago, 45, 50 years ago. And then the nature of the bazaar changed, other than the jewelry. Now, capital of knockoffs. You can find Louis Vuittons, you know, all that stuff. And then also recently, this happened in the last 3 years or 4 years, spices. But please ask, when it comes to spice and saffron and Turkish delight and whatnot, please ask the price before you buy. This was last year. One of my guests, she came out, and I don't remember the exact number, but it was 200, close to $300, something like that, for a pound of Turkish delight, for 2 pounds of Turkish delight and some saffron. So they overcharge. Okay, so be careful with the spice issue. So, jewelry, spice issue, and knockoffs. And also you can find pashminas. Pashmina, and 70% cashmere, 30% silk, 20% cashmere, 100% cashmere. And if you want 100% cashmere pashmina, I have a friend who's printing labels. Yeah, it says he prints labels that are 120% cashmere. So what I'm trying to say is, unless you're paying $400 or $500, that is $10 or $5, $8. It's not real pashmina, but it's a nice gift, or it's something nice. You know, there could be wool or something else, but it's not going to be pashmina. I don't know where that pashmina comes from. They told me it's a goat something special hair. So you can find pashmina and a lot of knickknacks. You know, Turkish, the evil eyes, and things like that. Leather, you can find leather in the bazaar. And I will take you to one of the gates. We get off the bus and we'll walk to one of the gates. There's 17 gates. I'm taking you to gate 1.
Marketing!
The question, the trick over here, you have to find gate 1. Okay? Once you go in, come back to the same gate, please, if you can. It's a maze in there. Come back to the same gate, and that's where we're gonna meet and find this bus again, God willing, and then we're gonna go to the hotel. Okay? Tonight, 6:30, you know, we have dinner. We have a little surprise, so let's be punctual on 6:30. We have invites. I mean, there will be singing, live singing tonight. An angelic voice. Rihanna. No, a Turkish singer. It's a surprise of gate 1, which you know, she will be performing a couple of songs for us as a part of the farewell. So we're gonna go gate 1. If you get lost inside, which is very easy, don't panic. I'll be here 3 weeks later. I'll pick you up. So gate 1 is the one that we are going to come back to. Once you go in from gate 1, shops on the left are like the door numbers are like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Shops on the right side, they go 1, 3, 5, 7. So if you find the shop that is 1 and 2, that's gate 1. Once you go into the souk, once you go into the indoor section, once you go to the covered bazaar, or in your terms, the grand bazaar, about 100 yards later, not even that, about 50 yards later, you'll see it starts repeating itself. Okay? It starts repeating. The same things are over and over.